Hey, what's up guys? My name's Chris. I'm the director and editor of Doctor Who Velocity, and tonight I'm going to show you some extended behind the scenes tips and tricks on how to make some visual effects for your own fan films. This is going to be a little different to our usual videos. It's a coronavirus lockdown special. So we're all stuck at home because the coronavirus is on the loose. I hope you guys are taking it seriously. You know, for a lot of people the symptoms might not be that bad, but we do have to be really careful that we don't spread it around to other people who might be really vulnerable. It looks like the hospitals are going to be slammed. I know a lot of people are out of work at the moment, they've lost their jobs and stuff, so I hope you guys are doing all right and coping okay, and I just wanted to kind of make something to pass the time. Since we've all got some free time, I thought I could show you how to make a 3D model. It's going to be the kind we use in our Doctor Who Velocity fan series. This is going to be kind of quick and dirty. I'm not going to show you like the professional way of working. I just want to get you up and running really quickly, get you having some fun in a 3D package. I just want to show you how to kind of jump in and get some 3D stuff up and running really quickly that you could use for your own fan film series. Okay, so we're going to be using some free software. It's open source and it's called Blender 3D. Alright, here we go. So to start with, head over to the website. You can download the software for Windows, Linux and Mac. It's open source, which means it's free and it's supported and it gets updated on a regular basis. You don't need a fast computer to do this kind of basic modeling that we're going to be starting with. I'm showing you this on like a 2-year-old gaming laptop. Most computers that are, a few £100 should be up to the job. Yeah, so basically you can have a look around the website, but if you go to the download bit, click download, install. Yeah, when you first open the software, you're going to see a box on the screen. You can try like clicking your mouse and stuff and just getting the hang of moving around the screen, moving the angle, like the camera angle around, so you can kind of see the box from different angles. You can use your mouse to look around and just have a practice at doing that. I've set up the project so you can see which buttons I'm pressing. If you look in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see these like small letters appear and the mouse buttons, and so you sort of, if you keep an eye on that, will tell you which things I'm clicking. The main process that we're going to be going with today is kind of simplicity really. We'll use a few basic tools to create our model. If you're completely new to Blender, you might want to jump into some other really simple tutorials that you can find online. But you should be able to follow this along if you just keep an eye on like which buttons I'm pressing. I'll just go over some of the super basics really quick. Okay, so basically every object is made from a group of polygons, and to open the object up for editing, you just press the tab button. And then you can modify either the points, the edges or the faces, and you can go between them with the 3 buttons up in the top corner there. If you select something, you can move it by pressing G, or you can press S to scale it. R will rotate it, and you can also like do all those modifications on different axes by pressing X, Y or Z, and that will kind of constrain which bit you're affecting. Okay, so you can create new geometry by extruding, which is if you press E, you can kind of then pull it out and it will like, make a face like jut out like that. And then you just move the mouse around to set it where you want. You can also add what's called a loop cut. That kind of adds a line in the middle of the shape, which will help you sort of split up the object, and you just hit Ctrl R to do that. If you have a loop selected, you can also hit Ctrl B to kind of bevel it and add details with the middle scroll wheel as well. That will like add extra lines in, so you can like make it more complicated and smooth it out if you want like a rounded bevel. Okay, the last beginner tip is keep the polygon shapes to 3 or 4 sides. Like the shape has got just 3, it's a square or a triangle. Don't create 5-sided or like bigger shapes. I'm not going to get into why you shouldn't do that, but it just basically creates a whole world of pain later down the line. So get out of the practice of not doing that to start with. If you do create a 5-sided shape, you can actually use the knife tool to like divide it up again, or you can, there's a shortcut to turn it into triangles. And I would always encourage you to do that, just to keep an eye on any shapes that get sort of too big. You cut them down to 3 or 4 sides basically. Okay, so next we'll go find an example of what we want to model. I'm using a Dalek blueprint from the internet. Just Google whatever you want to model as a reference. If you can get 2 views of it, like a side and a front or something, that helps as well. And we have this function in Blender called import images plane, and you can activate that in the plugin preferences if it's not in your version. And that means we just have a nice easy way to make sure our model kind of matches the actual images. You can just, you know, import the image as a flat image and then build your model next to it and kind of line it up. So to start with, we're going to be creating the basic shape and just line the model up with the photos and extrude out different areas so we can kind of get that basic shape going. There's kind of 2 approaches to doing 3D modeling really, I think. You could go for like a really technically accurate model if you want to create something that's like exactly the same as like the actual TV show. But you know, for our fan series, we do something a bit different. I actually like to kind of get it similar and then kind of freestyle it a little bit, just for fun mostly, but also because if you get hung up on like really little details, you will never get a fan film series made, because especially if there's just a few of you doing it, you've got to really like do so many different tasks. So actually, you know, the time it takes to like get every detail on a Dalek right, you might as well like model a Dalek really quickly and then go and film your buddies doing the acting and then like write a script, and you know what I mean? Like you can just get so much more done if you just like take a few little shortcuts here and there. So don't be afraid to just use your own creativity and kind of do what you kind of want with it. You know, no element's going to be perfect, but you know, it'll come out together nicely in the end. One tip, if you do want to get into animation further down the line, you're going to have to make like the different bits separately. A Dalek actually works really well for this because it's not got that many moving parts, so you can do like the nose and the arms as like separate objects. And you can actually, if you've made it all as one and you want to split it apart, you can actually select different bits of the object and then split that off and turn that into a separate object. Okay, once you have the basic shape modeled out, you can kind of start to put in the details. You should think of a CG model as having kind of 3 levels of detail. It's got like the basic shape, then it's got like the kind of large details, and then it has the really fine kind of little details. And if you put really like fine little edges in on stuff, you actually find that it sort of like looks more realistic and looks more kind of polished. It's just a case of like just putting like tiny little things. You could be like on a robot, it could be like little screws, little indents, little buttons, just things like that, just to sort of you know, bring it to life basically. So just in case you're wondering, we are making more episodes of Doctor Who Velocity. Obviously with the whole coronavirus thing, it might have slowed us down a little bit, but actually we don't use that many actors. We usually only, there's like 2 or 3 actors in each episode usually. So we might be able to get away with filming it. I'm gonna, you know, we've still got some logistics to work out and timing that will, you know, but expect hopefully from summer onwards a few more episodes to come out. Okay, so the next part we're going to be talking about is the materials. Materials basically are kind of like what your object looks like it's made out of. As you get more complicated, you can actually make like different textured materials. You could have like rock, metal, water, you know, glass, or you could even have like lava. And there's quite a lot of ways of doing that, those kind of effects. But with this, I'm just going to start off with something simple, and that's just like adding a basic color scheme, and then we'll go from there. First up, we want to make sure we're using one of the views that sort of shows the materials like properly. So you just click up in the top right, those little balls, and you just click on the textured one, so you make sure you're seeing all the materials as they should be. Okay, now you basically just go through, you select parts of your model and you assign a material to it, and then whatever changes you make to that material will actually end up sort of rippling down to every time you've used it. First up, we could add like basic kind of dark black color across the whole Dalek. And then once we've done that, we just go through and we can add like gray accents to like different bits. So we'll do that. Now, next up, we could do like an emission material, and that would make it like glow like a light, and it gives it that kind of 80s strip light effect. And we do use that a lot in our fan series. It's just the same as any other material. You just need to select the pieces you want to add it to and then assign it. Okay, so now we're going to add some quick lighting and visual effects, which will give it a more sort of impressive look, just like make it look nice. A few little cheats. The first thing you want to do really is set your shot up, so you can grab the camera, move it around. You might have already picked it up. You know, it's possible to change the views from various angles, and then you can actually select your own custom camera and like view it from that angle too. Okay, next up we have the lights. You can change the color and the strength and move them around to get a good look. So just experiment, move the lights around, see what you think looks nice. We want to make sure the reflections are turned on, so you can get like a more impressive look. It just looks more realistic. You can change the reflectiveness of different materials, so some could be like very shiny, others are sort of more matte. You just can dial in what look you want basically. Okay, so there's another effect in Blender that we can add, and it's called Bloom, and it gives everything like a nice little glow, and it works really well with the emission textures we just put on. So you can try that out if you want. Okay, another quick thing you can do is add depth of field. This kind of imitates the look of focus on a camera, and it makes it look more realistic, and it can also sort of help you like just sort of select the details that you want to look really sharp in the image, and then which ones want to kind of look blurry. Makes it look a little bit more realistic. Okay, once you have all that set up, you can just render it out by pressing F12. You can easily save that as like a JPEG or a PNG and upload it to social media. You can set up other objects as a background obviously, or if you want to get a bit fancy you can render out the image with a transparent background, and that will let you combine the image with real footage in a package like Photoshop, so you could just like put it in, you know, put a different background on it or duplicate them up or whatever really. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was kind of fun for me to do. I've not done one of these before. I hope that was a little bit more in depth compared to kind of some of our other making ofs. I wanted to sort of show you a little bit more about how we, you know, put these things together. And if you enjoyed it, give us a like and a subscribe or whatever. You know what the kids say. And yeah, if you like it, let us know, and I can always get into other things. I was thinking about doing a script writing tutorial maybe. We could show you how we write our scripts. And also maybe some After Effects and video editing stuff. I wanted to use Blender because it's like free to download, so like anyone can just grab hold of it really easily. But I could do some Adobe tutorials as well if it's something you guys are interested in. Whilst we're all sitting at home, obviously, not much to do. But we are getting on with our next episodes. We've got 2 more video episodes coming out and another audio episode. They will get here eventually. Just want to say thanks for watching. It's been a bit of a crazy week over here, so I just wanted to let you know that we all really appreciate everyone watching, and we've had loads of great messages, so yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Take it easy.